You know, folks, there's no doubt in my mind when the water temperature falls in the fall to around anywhere from 70 to 65 degrees. This is exactly when I love to skip docks. And the kind of docks that I look for in the fall are off of the main river. Usually, I'm looking for water anywhere from 4 to 6 foot deep. And I'm also looking for the presence of shad. There's no doubt that I prefer backwater sloughs, areas like that, for fall fishing. However, this was a situation where they were really pulling the water out of the river. It was falling abruptly, and I mean quick. The quickest I've ever seen it. So, I had to change my pattern to fish the main river. And that's unusual in the fall around here, but sometimes it pays to change patterns. There he is. Golly, come out of there. This is a big crappie right here, folks. Big crappie. If we can get him to stop, we'll catch him right here. That's a big white crappie. Let's see, let's flip him on in here. I knew that was a big one when he hit. It was just thump, no doubt about it. I'm going to explain to y'all what I'm having to do right here, and I'm catching a few fish. I'm not showing them all, but I'm catching a lot more fish, really. Boy, that's a good fish right there. Okay, now, that's what we're looking for right there. Just big, pretty crappie like that. And I'm going to put this one in the bucket. What I'm doing right now, I've changed my pattern, or part of my pattern completely up, folks. I'm now fishing the main lake. The reason why is because all the water back up in the sloughs, it's coming out of there quickly, and the fish are moving out. And where they're going, I don't know. But I'm fishing a little deeper docks with deeper water close by, so I'm on the main river now. I'm going to have to do that to catch some good fish. Let's see if we can do that again. That felt good, folks. That was just thump, no doubt about it. And I like that kind of stuff. I love it. They ain't nothing like it when a plan comes together. But I'm using a chartreuse and white right now. I've changed colors because, as y'all can see, the water clarity is a little bit different out here on the main river. And of course, chartreuse and white is a very visible color, and I think it suits this color of water right here. It just looks a lot better in the water than the pearl, and that may not make any difference, but one never knows. Come on, boy, bite it. There he is. There's another one, folks. I knew there was another fish back up in there. They're really up close to the surface. That's another white crappie. Another keeping fish. Another keeper. Let's put him in the bucket. We're mounting up a few fish right there. We're getting a few in there for Mama Sue. Just a slow, steady wind. This is getting the job done, though. But the main lake pattern right now is best, and usually, in my opinion, it's not that way. I like to get up in sloughs this time of the year normally. These fish should get real shallow. But see, they feel more safe out here because they're not locked up in a slough, because there's deep water out here close by, and I just think that it's a much more reliable pattern because of that. There he is. My goodness. Whew. That fish knocked the fire from it, folks. Flip him in here. Boy, that's a fat crappie. We're catching them now. Catching them now, but you can see all of them. If y'all notice, most of them's been barely hooked. Like that right there. It's just, they're just reflexing on that jig. But we're catching them. That was on yet a different color. I'm going to mention, look at there, we're mounting some fish up. I'm going to mention all the colors that I've used. These little Z-Man baits are fantastic. I wouldn't tell y'all that if it wasn't true. They absolutely catch crappie. I caught that fish on a baby Baller Z 2-inch bait made by Z-Man. Elastec. I'm getting to where Elastec baits are definitely my favorite to fish with. The reason is, just like I have been stating here lately, you can catch a lot of fish off of one bait, which makes them cheaper. I'm not advertising the bait, it's just a fact. Plus, this bait right here has a unique action. I've been catching a lot of fish with it. That little ball on the end of that bait makes it vibrate just like this, just come through the water like that. And these crappie are eating it up for that reason. They can't stand it, or what I mean is they love it. There he is. I knew there'd be a crappie right there, and y'all did too. I got a good little pattern going. Regardless of the water dropping like crazy, I am catching fish. That's a good keeping fish right there. That's a black crappie. Let's flip him in here. My goodness. Yes, sir. I knowed it. I know that one right there's got his tummy's full of shad. We're still catching them. Got a good little deal going right here. Good pattern. Great pattern. I'm glad that I got out of those sloughs. It really, actually, one that I was in, I could have almost gotten trapped in it. That water has been falling quick all day. Whew, we should catch one coming right through the middle like that. Yeah, we did. And a good one. My goodness, that's a good fish. That is a good one if I can get control of him. My goodness, quit. Let's flip him in here. That's a good one right there. You talking about some sure enough fillets, and I barely had him hooked. I was lucky to catch, folks. I was real lucky to get that fish right there and put him in the boat. That's a big crappie. My goodness. A lot of them are just eating size, just barely keepers. But now that was a good fish right there. When I dock fish, I prefer a 6-foot light action rod. This is an Eagle Claw rod, light action. This is a Johnny Marsh spinning reel. First time I've used it, it's loaded with 4-pound test high vis mono. And this is a weedless jig. You can see that's a 40-pound test weed guard that I put in my jig heads myself. 1/32 of an ounce jig head. Palomar knot, always under these docks. This reel right here is smooth as it can be. I'm already liking it. 6-2-1 gear ratio. It's actually a little Daiwa reel. But let's get back into it and see if we can catch some more crappie. There he is. Golly. I want you to fight. That's what happened too. Just a hard fight. my. Let's see how many crappie we got, folks. I want y'all to look. We're mounting them up big time. Now from the other direction, I didn't catch none. But when I got on this side, I started catching them. This is typical of crappie fishing. Angles is very important. And the way the fish are positioned, a lot of times is very, very important. So changing angles is one of the best things you can do when it comes to fishing for crappie, especially if you're casting. I tell you what, that's a lot of what's going on is this right here, little old bluegills like this. But now I want y'all to know this. That's good. When you have a lot of bluegills up under a line of docks, usually that's another sign, usually there's going to be some crappie. See, they're just hammering it right now. Those crappie and bluegill, they love to hang around each other a lot of the times. Year long. Not always, but a lot of the times they do. See here? See, here's a crappie instead of a bluegill. But now he ain't no keeper. He ain't big enough. But him's a pretty fish. Let's let him go. They hang together. So, in other words, what I'm saying is when you're dock fishing, you want life. You want bites. Because that's telling you, hey man, this is fish. There's fish here. And they could be some crappie. Now, if this was any other type of plastic, other than Elastec, these fish would have done tore up 3 or 4 jigs. As many fish that's up under here. I mean, it's full of them. There we go. That's a crappie. Small one though. There ain't no big ones on this one. I believe I've caught 1 keeper on this dock right here. Caught a lot of fish, but that old man will catch it every time. He listens to them old ear hairs hanging out of his ears. It don't matter. He can hear, can't see a lick. But now he'll hear everything you say, and he'll contradict. I don't want the old man around me no more. He's gonna act like that. All right, folks. There's our catch right there. I took them out, counted them. There's 30 crappie. There's a limit of crappie in there. And that's going to be some good eating. That's something that you rarely see on my channel. I usually don't keep but like 5, 6, 10 at the most. But we're plumb out of fish, so I just went ahead and caught a limit. Alright folks, I'm digging out the colors that worked. I told y'all that I would tell y'all which colors worked today. And there was 3 that I threw today, and all 3 of them worked. Glow chartreuse. That's a pretty color right there. I used it for a while and caught several. And then electric chicken. Not Cajun chicken. I believe it was a time or two that we went fishing back, time or two ago, that I said Cajun cricket. But it's electric chicken is the color of it. Electric chicken. I don't know where I got Cajun cricket. I apologize for that. And the next color is pearl. The pearl color. All 3 of these colors work today. Probably out of the 3, the one that worked the best. And it usually does. And I don't really know the reason why. It may be because it's in my mind, but electric chicken caught most of the fish today. It seemed like they hit it much more aggressively. You know, folks, pattern fishing for crappie, well, is no different than for bass. Now today, the only adjustment that I had to do was get out of the sloughs and the cuts and the backwater areas and focus on the river. Basically the same technique, but really not. They can be techniques in techniques when it comes to crappie fishing that'll put more fish in your boat. I want to say God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for all the great comments. Everything y'all done for this channel has been and always will be appreciated. God bless each and every one of y'all. Hey, woo. And remember, go fishing when you can, because it's good for you.